news yesterday that the Dallas Cowboys signed Alda Smith was one that I think we're living in a world where not a lot of things would surprise us. Alda Smith getting signed by the Dallas Cowboys just kind of came out of nowhere. The Dallas Cowboys, the next news we thought we were going to learn from the Dallas Cowboys is that they either signed Dak Prescott to a long-term contract to officially and properly be the face of their franchise, or Dak Prescott signs the franchise tag. Now, I understand that there's a lot more things that you have to do with the team other than sign your quarterback, and the Dallas Cowboys have been a shining example of that. They've given Ezekiel Elliott a lot of money within the last year. Amari Cooper, a lot of money within the last year. La'el Collins, a lot of money within the last year. Jalen Smith, a lot of money within the last year. Did I miss anybody?
Blake Jarwin got paid, their tight end.
Blake Jarwin, a lot of money. The only person in the Dallas Cowboys organization that hasn't been officially paid a lot of money is their quarterback that they say is the face of their franchise. And in the midst of trying to figure out the Dak Prescott saga with the Dallas Cowboys, they go out and sign a guy who hasn't been in the NFL for 5 years, a guy whose rap sheet is 3 DUIs, 3 felony counts of possessing illegal assault weapons, an arrest on suspicion of making a bomb threat at an airport, hit and run charges, and he has a domestic violence charge against him. They sign him, and Trey Wingo tweeted this morning. Trey Wingo of Golick and Wingo of ESPN fame, he said, just to be clear, Dallas chose to sign a player with a litany, great word. That's the difference between Trey Wingo and the likes of us. Like maybe you, Ty, I would never in a million years put litany there. I need to add it to my Rolodex with a litany of off-field issues that is currently indefinitely suspended by the NFL, who hasn't played since 2015 before they took care of their franchise quarterback. And although that might be, stirring the pot a little bit, that is 100% accurate. I mean, they've dealt with all these different things. Amari Cooper, they've given like $100 million to. They've paid everybody that you could possibly think that you would want to pay on your team to set up a core roster to have success going forward because you didn't make the playoffs last year. You didn't. And they just haven't gotten the deal done with Dak Prescott. Now, they say it's not for a lack of trying. They said that it isn't contested and there is no conclusion in sight. But the fact that they haven't paid Dak Prescott and got this deal done while signing all these other things makes me think that maybe the Dallas Cowboys have massive question marks on whether or not they want Dak Prescott as their franchise quarterback. I know I sound like a clickbaity ESPN human, but do the Dallas Cowboys, who they want, they get, right? If they want somebody, they go get him. Mm-hmm. If they want somebody in the league who's not in the league, they go get him. They did it with Greg Hardy. I mean, the Dallas Cowboys have done this. They did it with Pac-Man way back in the day when nobody else. I mean, if the Jerry Jones wants something to happen, he'll make it happen. That's just what Jerry Jones does. He's just refusing to make this long-term deal with Dak Prescott official. For what reason? Is it because he doesn't know how he and McCarthy are going to feel about each other? Is it because he doesn't know if last year, his best year statistically, where he was number 1 in overall pass offense in the NFL and all that stuff, and they showed vast improvement over the year before where he's been playing for an underpaid contract? Is it because he doesn't think he'll be able to do that again? Is it because he doesn't like Dak Prescott? Now you have to start asking the question, why will Jerry Jones not sign Dak Prescott while he's signing all these other people, and now Alda Smith, who hasn't been in the league for 5 years? Now, granted, Alda Smith, when he was playing football at a very high level. So sorry to interrupt. If you're a man watching this, you deserve to have long, great. And you can do that now with our friends at Roman. Right now, you go to GetRoman.com. You get $10 off and free 2-day shipping on Roman swipes, which are guaranteed to make you have longer, more fulfilling every time you get in the sack. Now, let's get back to the fornicating action. Alda Smith was unblockable for a little bit. But then everything that started happening off he has a bigger rap sheet than Antonio Brown.
Oh, yeah.
Antonio Brown. And we're talking about Antonio Brown having no chance. You hear Bruce Arians last week go, he's not playing for my team. Everybody thought he would go with Tom Brady. Now he's working out with Lamar Jackson. Will he be a Baltimore Raven? Everybody's thinking that's possible because his cousin Hollywood obviously plays for the Ravens. But I don't know if Harbaugh is going to bring Antonio Brown in there. You got to remember, Lamar might want to sign him, and Hollywood might want to sign him, and other guys. Will Harbaugh and the new GM, not Ozzie Newsome,
I'm not sure who it is.
Yeah, I don't know who it is. Ozzie Newsome, let's assume he's still making all the clothes. That guy built a hell of a roster. But I don't think they're going to sign Antonio Brown. But this guy gets signed instead of Antonio Brown. Wild move by the Cowboys. Wild move by the NFL. And honestly, what if Dak Prescott holds out and Cam Newton becomes the Dallas Cowboy quarterback? Wait till you see that YouTube title, by the way, for that video. Wait until you see how Billy Tubes headlines that thing. Because it is. I said a lot of things in there. Does Jerry hate Dak? We don't know.
Seems like it.
Jerry says he says he likes him. Says he loves him. Says he appreciates him. Like a son. The Dallas Cowboys are a family. Well, this guy's been playing for you for nickels and dimes compared to other quarterbacks, and you just won't sign him long term while you're signing all these other things. Do you hate him? Do you not like him? Do you not think he's a franchise quarterback? Or are you just hedging your bet on one more year with a new head coach, which are all viable options? I just have to ask these questions as a person that hosts a show in the middle of quarantine about sports. Now, will Cam Newton become their quarterback and take less money than what that franchise tag is, whether it's $28 million or $33 million? I would assume you could probably get Cam Newton for $15, $20 million. Cam Newton as quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys would be a lot of fun. But is that going to run the Mike McCarthy offense? I'm not 100% sure. What are they going to do down there? There are quarterbacks that are on. Jameis Winston, for instance, is another guy who can sling the pill. Now, I don't know if he can extend plays. He can sling the pill. Will they resort to going to another quarterback if Dak won't sign the franchise tag and they can't come to an agreement? Will they resort to sign another deal? And what would Dak do? Just sit out for a year and then he gets broken off next year? This is a wild scene in Dallas, and Alda Smith being added to it is beautiful.
It's hard for me to believe, as reported, that the biggest issue with this deal is between 4 and 5 years. Like, if you're the Cowboys and Dak wants 4 years, then give him the 4 years. But it seems like, unless it comes out that Cowboys are offering $35 million and Dak wants $40 million, I think the Cowboys just don't like Dak.
Cowboys don't like Dak. Does Dak know that?
I think he's learning.
At the very least, they definitely don't think he's worth what he's asking.
Which, by the way, talked to Triple H yesterday about how this works in his field. Some people obviously think they are at a level that they might not be because they choose to surround themselves with like-minded people who think the same exact thing as them, right? You can mute people on Twitter that don't agree with you. You can block people out of your everyday life that don't agree with you, so you're only in one-track mind. So maybe the Dallas Cowboys are thinking that Dak is only surrounded by people that are telling him he's great, but I think everybody's kind of on the page that Dak Prescott is a very good quarterback at this point and deserving of some cash, and I think he's been underpaid. So I think, I don't know if that's what Jerry thinks, like, hey, you're not as good as literally everybody thinks you are. Hey, you're not at worth exact what you think. But how do you pay somebody $35-40 million if you don't? I mean, if you don't like him, does Jerry Jones not like Dak Prescott? I mean, these are questions that have to be asked. Do they not like Dak or want Dak to be a Dallas Cowboy? Do they want Dak to go somewhere else? Hey, find another team. Is that what they're saying? Alda Smith getting signed. And maybe I wouldn't even thought of it the way Trey Wingo put it out there. But since I saw that, now I have to kind of wonder, like, is that how they feel?
Well, and they definitely haven't done themselves any favors by giving all this money to all these other guys. I mean, that just makes Dak feel even more underappreciated. And it's like, at this point, why wouldn't you be like, all right, screw you guys. I'm going to get every dime I can get out of you.
Is Dak playing in the XFL?
He might,
year?
Yeah.
He might have too much Jason Garrett in him.
Renegades need a new quarterback.
Oh my God! So do the Houston Roughnecks too.
Yeah,
and the Battlehawks. I mean, there's a lot of quarterbacks that are needing that XFL. Dak Prescott just tells them all to go to hell. I'm gonna go give me a percentage of the XFL. I'm gonna go play down here.